That was your season 11 presentation. So we saw that video a few days ago. Obviously, we couldn't talk about it until today, but season 11 Galaxy Masters on the finals is now live, and we are downloading, and we're going to be hopping in as soon as possible.
Hey, just talk some shit for a second.
Okay. What's up, Simon? Morning, dude. Season 11 is really fun, chat. It's really fun. I've gotten to play with the new melee. I've gotten to play with on the new map. I've gotten to mess with some of the guns. What we can look at if they are out is our patch notes. Do we have patch notes? We have patch notes. Oh my god. Okay. Let's take a look. Because the one thing I didn't get to mess with is the actual changes. So season 11 is a very pleasant surprise because essentially this the way this season has been described to us for the past year or so, not even a year, I would say half a year, is that season 11 is essentially a filler season and season 12 is the big season. That's what they've always been saying. Season 12 is the massive season. That's the one we're building towards. That's where everything is going to come together. So I went into season 11, as well as I think a lot of other players went into season 11 with the thought process that, okay, it's not going to be that big. Truth be told, season 10 felt like a filler season. But this season 11 is a very pleasant surprise. I think this is a much needed step in the right direction in terms of content coming out for this game. This is a very huge season. A lot of good is coming out, and I'm super excited. So while that's downloading in the background, let's take a look at some patch notes. World first reaction patch notes. I'm the first one to ever see these notes. Okay, what do we got? Welcome to season 11 of the finals. This time, the game show is going interplanetary. Our generous sponsor, Cometa, is bringing you a new arena out of this world, the reworked melee combat system, bot matches, and so much more. Let's take one small step from contestants and one giant stop for the arena and blast our way into a whole new season. So we saw the trailer before. We already saw that. We know what's coming. We just watched the entire stream. New arena, Galaxy Estates, which Mike describes as the Halo map. Welcome to the American dream, reimagined for life among the stars. Galaxy Estates from Cometa is situated inside a massive space habitat. Explore quiet suburban neighborhoods sitting next to luxurious mid-century modern homes that overlook the curve of the colony. Stay active at the sports center, wander through a sprawling botanical garden, bringing nature into this artificial world, and make your way to the spaceport, the central hub where residents travel across the ring and beyond to other planets. Movement is at the heart of how you'll experience this arena. The speed tunnel that encircles the center building acts as a connector between areas, allowing for fast strategic rotations and completely changing the flow of the fight. I can confirm, chat, the speed tunnel that goes all the way around the middle of the map in a giant circle is very good. I think more global mobility is always a good thing. It makes the maps feel super fast paced. You get from one side of to the other, and it improves the flow of the match a lot. I hope that in the future we get more global mobility, similar to the speed tunnel. It was nothing but a net positive when I was playing it in the test. While you're exploring the colony, stop by the oxygen pods for a breath of fresh air, jump on one of the trampolines in the residential backyard, and soak up the everyday life in this retro futuristic world before you walk through the sliding doors towards the spaceport gates and tear it all down. Where to play it? Galaxy Estates arrives in Cash Out, Ranked Cash Out, Quick Cash, and TDM with 5 different locations, plus head-to-head and final round in private matches. And we've added a dedicated Cash Out queue for the first week, so you can drop into Galaxy Estates anytime, every time. See you at the Orbit Homes Neighborhood Block Party, and this is the map layout if you wanted to take a look. So the speed zones go all the way around this middle portion, and then all of the points are usually on the outside. You have to see it to understand what I mean by saying it feels really good. It feels very good. It is the best. It might be my favorite map just playstyle wise. It feels similar to Nozomi in terms of how fast you can get around the map and how comfortable it is. Okay. Battle Pass. Do you see yourself as an industrial retro futuristic robot, a big brain alien, or a fearless pioneering astronaut? No need to choose just one when you can have them all in the season 11 Battle Pass. Suit up in brand new out of this world looks that will launch your wardrobe into orbit. Get the premium Battle Pass and unlock up to 106 rewards, including bonus pages, as well as the ability to earn 1,575 multi-bucks more than enough to buy next season's pass. For those ready to reach the stars, the Ultimate Battle Pass is also available with 12 additional rewards, including legendary outfits. Start your season with 20 levels unlocked and a 25% match XP boost, perfect to collect those 2,575 multi-bucks, of which you get 1,000 right away. The Season 8 Battle Pass is also joining the Legacy roster. So if you didn't finish your Season 8 Battle Pass, you can go do that now. You just activate it. If you already have it, or if you don't, you can buy it for its normal price and go through and claim all those rewards except for the bonus pages. How we feeling so far, chat? We got a lot of patch notes to get through. What's our download at? Oh no, I gotta do something. I think I have to restart the download because I might have forgot to do something. Let me see. I found out something quirky about Steam. Give me a sec. Okay. Big Stout coming through with the 5 tier 1 gifted, my brother, my boy. I appreciate that, brother, man. If you guys got a gifted sub, make sure to thank him in the chat. I will donate the subs, man. I'm not a scammer, okay? I'm not a fucking scammer. We're gonna do it after stream. After stream, I will be donating the subs, and I will post the image on social media, as well as with the count of what everything was and things of that nature. Chat, show him some love. I appreciate that though, bro. Thank you to donating for charity. Thank you for donating for cancer research. You are an incredible human. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's hop back into the patch notes. New player experience, revamped tutorial. For the first time, new players will get a deeper introduction to the world of the finals and the journey of becoming a contestant, connecting the competition in the arena to the people, the places, and stories of the meat space. Our new tutorial drops you in as a rookie, thrust into your first round along the legendary contestant Didi. You'll learn the early stages of the cash-out match, getting the grips with vaults, cash boxes, and cash-out stations, along with the dynamic gameplay and core mechanics that make the finals unlike anything else. As you find your footing, the tutorial becomes an open cash-out match against the new bot opponents, complete with all the action and intensity of the real thing. New player experience, early talent program. Hit the ground running in the finals. Instead of rookie contracts, DD will now guide you through the early talent program, a training school for new contestants. This new onboarding path will guide players through various modes, mechanics, and systems. For eligible new and returning players, the early talent program lives inside the Academy screen, which has been updated this season. The Academy now includes new tutorial videos for ranked cash out, quick cash, and point break, giving new players an easy way to learn each mode. You can also jump straight into the practice range challenges directly from the Academy, picking a challenge and difficulty you want and loading right into it. W all around. I think onboarding new players is always a good thing. The finals is a very brutal game as a new player because it's mostly saturated by people who have been playing for multiple seasons. So bringing new players into a comfortable experience where they can learn and adjust with things like this and the bot matches, which we're going to get to next, is it's always a good thing. New players is the #1 priority for the game, and I think this helps a lot. This makes it very welcoming and easy to recommend to people that want to hop in. Bot matches. Another major addition this season, bots. Select cash out bots from the play screen and queue solo as a party of up to 3 or matchmake to team up with other players and take on the bots together. Bots matches use the full cash out format, so you'll enter a 3-round tournament. You'll also earn progress at a reduced rate towards the World Tour, the Battle Pass, and other progression systems. These bot opponents are the real deal. They navigate the finals' highly dynamic environments, cause destruction, and wield an unlimited array of weapons, gadgets, and specializations, offering the cash out experience and the space built for learning. If you've ever tried the finals and struggled to find your footing, cash out bots is a great place to jump back in. Cash out bots are available in Monaco, Bernal, Kyoto, Las Vegas, and Cis Horizon for now. And this is just a start for bots. These bots are in beta. Expect occasional bugs and odd behavior as they grow. Bots in the finals need to make incredibly complex calculations and will take time to perfect. Make sure to share your experiences with the team. Over time, we plan to extend bot functionality and support to more game modes, more arenas, and more items. As I was saying before, bots are a good thing. And it's good that they're allowing players to progress against bots, so you don't usually feel stifled like in other games playing against bots. You're still going to make progress in all your progression systems, even if you're not playing against real players. So it doesn't feel like you're wasting your time. I think that's very important as well. W's all around. Good choice from the Embark team. I'm a fan of bots, as well as the technical experience, like knowledge that they're probably gaining from making bots work in an environment like the finals where everything can be blown up and destroyed and it changes how you have to traverse the map. Is very huge as well. That is very, very huge. Okay, and the big one, game update Melee rework. This season, one of our biggest focuses has been reworking the Melee combat system from the ground up. Melee has had two core problems we wanted to solve. We wanted to be a viable style of play with a fair chance to win matches, and we wanted to make sure it's not frustrating for those on the receiving end. Rather than keep making incremental balance tweaks, we stepped back and reworked the underlying system itself. We're excited for you to get your hands on this new Melee system, and we can't wait to hear your feedback. For a deeper dive into the philosophy and all the details behind the rework, check this in-depth blog post from design director Matt Lowe. We're not going to be looking at that blog post. It is very long, but I highly recommend if you are interested in how their philosophy behind the Melee rework and what's changing, you look into it. It has a lot of valuable information that I've read off stream. It's a very good blog post. Very, very good blog post. And I think the Melee rework is good overall. I think it's a step in the right direction for sure. Game update, ping system improvements. We've made another round of improvements to the ping system and wheels this season with the goal of reducing the time spent navigating and allowing for faster callouts in the heat of battle. We've consolidated the ping wheels and made switching between them more responsive. Ping wheel input is snappier overall, so you can communicate more quickly mid-fight. We've also changed how pings look and behave. Player responses to a ping are now visibly tallied, and the ping interaction hint carries more useful information when options and settings to tailor your experience. As part of this, emotes now fit on a single wheel, and anything can now be bound to the emote key. Please note, because of this reorganization, you may need to re-equip some of your customizations and key bindings, including emotes, emoticons, sounds, and sprays. Man, I'm not reading that blog post. Matt Lowe's a yapper, man. Matt Lowe's a yapper, and he yapped in that blog post. More details on ping's good. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Ranked tournaments, season 11 changes. Over the past 6 months, we've been refining ranked play, but we're not done yet, and there's still plenty we want to improve. In season 11, we're introducing personal performance bonuses that grant bonus rank score based on how you perform in a match. The amount scales with your performance grade and your current rank tier, which means even when you lose a match, a strong performance still earns you something. The bonus size is much more impactful at lower ranking tiers and very small at higher ranking tiers, in part because of the very high win rates at higher ranks, as well as the smaller RS changes in general at those tiers. For the bulk of the ranked population, around silver and gold tiers, this is where the bonus will have more impact. We're also adding a updated ranked score breakdown at the end of each match, making it much clearer where you gained and lost RS. On top of that, we've updated how players are calibrated during placement at the start of the season, which should lead to a much more balanced rank distribution early on compared to previous seasons. Finally, we've added an additional reward token to ranked for season 11. Players can now earn 2 diamond tokens, one for reaching diamond 4 and one for reaching diamond 1. All good stuff. Ranked has been in a very dire state. So this is good. Being rewarded for your own personal performance is good, even if it doesn't net you overall gain in your rank. Knowing that your performance had an impact on you losing less ranked, I think is still a positive overall. And the reward token's cool. You're just earning more for doing the same thing. So that's always a bonus. Okay. Game update. Cash out spawning and variety. We've continued tuning the spawning systems in our cash out modes this season with the goal of bringing more variety and replayability to your matches. We've rebalanced how cash out locations are selected, making the system much more flexible and more varied. As a result, you should see a wider selection of cash out locations from match to max, opening up more tactical options. Cool. I have to see this to see, like, really have an opinion on it. I thought the spawns for the most part they're fine. If you get a spawn you don't like, you just run over to the other cash out. It is what it is. So it really depends on, like, if it's a noticeable difference, you know. Game update, player card improvements. This season, we made a range of enhancements to player cards, giving you even more ways to customize your contestants. Just like outfits, player cards can now be individually edited and saved, and you can assign a unique player card to each contestant, letting you match your card perfectly to each build you create. You now pick which pose to show on your player card rather than being locked to the pose from your intro emote. That's good. I like this because I love the pose, but I hate the way it looks on the card. So this is really good for me. Dynamic cash out locations. I don't know for sure. That's why I don't know. I didn't have enough time during the preview event to really tell what was happening with the cash outs. And we were also playing on a map that we had never played before. So it's not like we knew the cash out spawns to begin with, you know? Game update, more arenas for modes. We're bringing some familiar arenas to new game modes this season, giving you fresh ways to fight across the places you already know. Point Break comes to Las Vegas Stadium, bringing its attack and defense phases to the Strip, and Team Deathmatch arrives in Monaco, turning those winding streets into a new battleground. 2 beloved arenas, 2 new ways to play. Sounds good to me. I like new maps in other modes. Sponsors, faster progression. Sponsors, as you know them, are going to change in Season 12, with the current sponsor system and reward tracks being replaced with something new, more involved, and more engaging, which we'll share information about as we get closer to Season 12. In response to this, in Season 11, sponsors have drastically eased their requirements to complete each sponsor's loyalty tier. Fan requirements have been reduced across all tiers, and the total fans needed to unlock all of a sponsor's rewards have been reduced by around 50%. So you'll be able to unlock all of a given sponsor rewards twice as fast in Season 11 in case you want to collect everything. Okay, chat. Well, you just got your confirmation. Sponsors will be leaving the game in Season 12, or rather being replaced with a new system. And from what it sounds like, these rewards may be not available after this season. So if there's anything you want to earn in particular, I highly suggest you go through your sponsor tracks, you figure out what you want to get, and you get to work. The good news is it should be easier to max out these things if you want to max any of them out. Rewards World Tour. We're changing how World Tour rewards are earned this season. Going forward, you'll be granted your reward for reaching a league rather than climbing to the top of it. This means once you hit Diamond 4, your Diamond League rewards are guaranteed. Emerald works as it has in the past. 1 coin at Emerald 3, 2 at Emerald 2, and 3 at Emerald 1. Okay, cool. So it's easier to earn stuff. Perfect. New soundtrack. In Season 11, we looked to the stars to explore the outer bounds of space to bring you 6 new tracks. We wanted to provide a soundtrack that was heroic and pioneering, inspired by epic endeavors and futuristic plot lines, something to propel you forward in and out of the arena. And what is more heroic than thunderous brass and thumping saw waves playing in unison to launch you out in space? We hope you enjoy it to the moon and back. There you go. So I'm assuming this means the OST is available on streaming services like they have in the past. I really like the vibe of the season. They told us that the map was inspired by NASA, and I'm assuming the music carries that same vibe of like some of your favorite space movies that you've seen in the past, or like things like, you know, 80s and 90s media, things like that. Very, very cool stuff. Okay, we got some new cosmetic bundles. The Funk-O-Matic 2000 set for 2,400 multi-bucks. The Funk-O-Matic 2000 set comes with enough grooves to keep your wires from short-circuiting on the dance floor while you bring the funk, the whole funk, and nothing but the funk to the arena. The Funk-O-Matic 2000 set includes 1 legendary outfit, weapon skin, 1 epic emote, 1 rare charm, and 2,400 multi-bucks. Oh, so it comes with 2,400 multi-bucks. I like this. This it kind of gives me Terminator vibes a little bit. But I also get like Daft Punk vibes. It's cool though. I like it. I like it. I like it. Don't forget to stack the Season 11 starter pack while you're at it. We got to see what's in the starter pack this season. I have no idea. Event Arc Raiders. Are you a menace in the arena and top side? Complete contracts in the finals and earn the Azimuth outfit in Arc Raiders. Once you've completed the task, if you own Arc Raiders and have connected the same Embark ID to both games, you'll get your outfit within 24 hours. Perfect. Yeah, cool. I'm assuming this is another initiative to try to bring new players in, to bring people from Arc Raiders over to the finals to try it out, especially with the new player stuff that's being implemented this season. I mean, you play a couple games of the finals, you do your contracts, you get a free skin in Arc Raiders. Sounds like a win-win to me. Twitch, Sonia the Sonar Grenade. Say hello to Sonia. Collect the newest Twitch drops by tuning into your favorite creators or catching the release stream. Link your Twitch account with your Embark ID, watch a final streamer with the drops enabled, and let the rewards roll in. So at 1 hour, you get the triple report sticker, which I believe is this yellow one right here. At 2 hours, you get the launch paperwork charm, which is this one right here. And 4 hours in, you get the Sonia the Sonar Grenade skin, which is this one right here. I like these skins a lot. I like them a lot, actually. And Twitch, support a streamer. Want to back your favorite creator and get rewarded for it? During Season 11, subscribing to a participating in the final streamer on Twitch earns you exclusive in-game items. Show your support, deck out your contestant, and help your favorite creators do what they do best. So if you gift 3 Twitch subs to anyone streaming the final, you get the Charm Allure set, which I'm assuming are the weapon skins right here. The V9S, the crossbow, and the BFR Titan. These 3 skins. And if you get 5 subs, you get the Approach Vector helmet, which is this guy right here. So chat, if you got any other favorite streamers on the finals you want to gift subs to, you get some free skins coming your way for no additional cost. Esports, the golden ticket is up for grabs. A new season means new opportunities. This Saturday, July 11th, EMEA plays its Cycle 2 Top 8, the first competitive broadcast of Season 11. New patch, new meta, and the best teams in the region working it out live on air. And what a bracket it is. Remember Tycho, the last seed fairy tale that ran through Cycle 1? Gone. The reigning champions crashed out of the top 16, and suddenly the region is wide open. 5 Fears, the team they beat in the final, now carry the favorites tag and a point to prove for their golden ticket to the Grand Major 2026. So tune in, grab another can of Ospoos, and pick a favorite team and see what Season 11 looks like when the arena's best get their hands on it. If you feel inspired, Cycle 3 is knocking. These signups are already open for APAC and Americas, and EMEA opens Monday, July 13th, right after the show. Every contestant on that broadcast started in the open qualifiers, taking the same kind of shot anyone can take, including you. So, I mean, if you want to participate competitively, you can do that. It is open registration, and you potentially have a chance to make it to the Grand Major, which will be played live at Stockholm, Sweden later this year. Cool. Okay, and here we are, chat. We are at the patch notes. So, let's get right into them. Gadgets, APS turret. Increase the amount of projectiles the APS can block from 5 to 6. Increased health from 160 to 175. The APS's cooldown no longer regenerates while it's deployed, similar to Guardian Turret, Healing Emitter, and Hover Pad. Manually retrieving the APS puts it on a 5-second cooldown. Added the ability to remotely retrieve the APS with the tablet, putting it on a 15-second cooldown. Destroying the APS puts it on a 30-second cooldown. Dev notes, the APS has been out of the meta for some time, and we feel it's in part to how quickly it can be removed through one method or another. So we've added these buffs to improve its impact. The cooldown adjustments are to slightly offset that power. I think these are good changes. This will definitely help with a lot of the grenade spam and a lot of the grenade launcher usage I've been seeing recently in the game. I think this is a net positive change. I like this change a lot. We need some ice weapons in the game. We have a few. I think we have the Shaq skin. I don't know if there's any more than that though, to be honest. Breach charge. Decrease the arm time when deployed from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. This is a small quality of life improvement to help responsiveness for the breach charge. When attached to a carryable, the arm time remains at 1.5. To provide some additional defense against nukes. Nukes mentioned! Oh my god, nukes have been mentioned! Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a change. I don't know if it's gonna change too much of the game feel. You'll get through walls faster. Data Reshaper accidental omission from the 10.12 patch notes. Added the ability to reshape gateways to immediately disable them. We've felt for a long time there are not enough counters to the light's gateway, which somewhat devalues the medium with their jump pad and zipline. This addition is a change to aim at evening this out a little. I think that's a really good change, actually. Now there's more than, I think the only counter before that was maybe goo and then glitch nades. Glitch mines. So this is a good change. I like this change a lot. Medium that's a good change for medium. It gives them a lot more value. Hover pad, increase HP from 350 to 425. Hover pad has some good use cases, but its vulnerability is still hindering those from being used more frequently. This change aims to address that. I don't use the hover pad enough to know if this is a really a game-changing change, but I felt the hover pad when I would play against it was pretty tanky, but if you have an entire team shooting at it, it probably dies really quickly, which I don't think this changes that, but it gives it a little bit more viability. Okay, cash out in ranked tournaments. Updated objective spawning and cash out in ranked tournament, making cash out stations locations more varied and less predictable. So I think what's going to happen, Mike, is you're right. I think it's going to dynamically choose where to spawn the cash out. So you can't immediately, experienced players won't know exactly where it'll be. Because I'm pretty sure before the way it worked is it would just go down a list. Hover pad is different from jump pad. Yeah, that was an addition last season. That's a medium gadget. Okay, general item progression. Increase the XP item rates for a range of items, making them easier to progress. This includes specializations, cloaking device, dematerializer, evasive dash, healing beam, mesh shield, shockwave, and winch claw. Gadgets, anti-gravity cube, APS turret, C4, data reshaper, defib, dome shield, explosive mine, frag grenade, gas mine, gateway, glitch grenade, H+ infuser, healing emitter, Black Bolt, Nullifier, Proximity Sensor, and Vanishing Bomb. These changes are a temporary solution to even out some of the item progression in the game to make the worst performing items less punishing. Ultimately, how we reward item XP is somewhat constrained by the functions and uses of the items themselves, what makes it hard to get it to a better solution in the short term. But we would like to rework this whole system in the longer term to give a better experience. For the time being, these adjustments hopefully help a little. I don't know if item progression is a reason people aren't picking the items, unless I'm reading this sentence wrong. I don't know if they're saying that worst performing items means people aren't picking the items to play with, or worst performing items meaning that they just gain naturally less XP than everything else because they get used less often, or they don't have ways to generate experience like, say, the healing beam or like a rocket launcher, you know. But I mean, it's more XP in general. It's rewarding players more. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just don't. I may be misreading this sentence wrong, but that's what it sounds like. Okay, melee weapons. Dev note for 11.0, given the melee system rework, we split the balance values for the melee weapons into their own section. This section establishes the core balance changes and additions made with this rework. Could be like if you play with a specific gun better with the sight, but that's the only use case I can think of. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Added stamina system. Stamina controls if a melee attack has access to its lunge component or not. When out of stamina, attacks will not lunge. When the player has stamina, attacks will lunge. Stamina regenerates over time or when landing precise hits. Added precision system. When melee attacks that hit an enemy hit them within the precision zone of their swing, they would deal critical damage. Melee hits landed outside the zone will deal reduced damage. Okay, so let's go through and then talk about it because there's going to be a lot. So dagger. Added stamina and precision. Added stamina regen time of 2 seconds. Primary attack. Replace old damage value of 60, set damage for precise hits to 60, set base damage to 42. So the base damage of a dagger has been nerfed, but if you hit the precise hit, it'll feel the same as it did before. This damage values is used for glancing blows. Yeah, there you go. Decrease max movement speed during an attack from sprint speed to run speed. So that's just your normal walk speed, essentially. What people refer to it as walk. That's your normal speed. Decrease sweep range by 0.5 meters made to make it more accurately match the animation. Increase lunge distance from 3 to 4.5 meters. That's a huge change. Decrease lunge target angle from 25 degrees to 20, meaning players need to be more precise with their aim to get the benefits of the lunge. Set precision zone angle to 9 degrees. Secondary attack backstab. Increase backstab damage multiplier from 4.26 to 4.5. The offset the decrease in quick melee damage. So backstab has gotten a pretty substantial damage buff. Reduce charge up time from 0.8 seconds to 0.65. Added a small pushback to opponents when hit by the secondary attack. Increase lunge distance from 3 meters to 4.5. And then the same as before, decrease the lunge target angle. And this attack does not use precision. Whoa. Backstab has gotten a huge buff going into Season 11. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's crazy. Backstab is going to be very strong. Oh my days. Okay. Dual blades. Added stamina and precision. Added stamina regeneration time of 3 seconds. Primary attacks. Remove the cross swipe attack from the end of the 3 attack strike sequence, leaving 2 double swipes. Replace the old attack sequence with damage values of first attack did 50 times 2, so 100 damage across 2 hits. Second did 60 times 2, so 120. And the third attack did 100. Set damage for precise hits for 50 to 57 times 2. Set base damage to 39 times 2. Lunge distance remains at 4.5 meters. Decrease lunge target angle from 25 to 20. Set precision zone angle to 8 degrees. Secondary functions deflect. Decrease movement speed while deflecting by 50%. Increase damage multiplier from deflecting from 0.1 to 0.2. Meaning enemies now do slightly more chip damage through dual blades deflection. Deflection got a massive nerf, so you can't just walk at people deflecting anymore like you were able to before. You move insanely slow now, and you take more damage through the deflection. So the precise hits, the dual blades got a damage buff if you are precise, but the base damage is quite low. It's still pretty good though. 80 damage per hit essentially is still pretty solid. 78, but Cross slash. Added a new cross slash attack that can be executed by pressing the primary fire button while in the deflect stance. This triggers a fixed distance lunge attack, no target required, followed by a cross slash attack for high damage. Set damage for precise hits to 140, set lunge distance to 5 meters, set base damage to 84. Added a small pushback when hit by the cross slash and set precision zone angle to 8 degrees. So they have a new attack option when they're deflecting. They can attack directly out of a deflect now. I wonder, it's a fixed distance lunge attack, so you can't adjust it. I wonder if you have to commit to this attack then. Like, if you do it, are you stuck in these animations and for how long? So, like, essentially, is there a punishment if you miss this attack? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Quick melee. Decrease quick melee damage. Is this still for the dual blades? Or is this just separate? This might be separate. So decrease quick melee damage from 40 to 25. Adding a contextual kick attack to quick melee. If a player has full stamina and quick melee is a target, the kick attack will be performed that pushes the target back 5 meters. Added stamina regen of 2.5 seconds for kicks. Added a modifier to control the knockback from kick attacks when used on targets who are performing hold interactions such as stealing and objective. This reduces the knockback distance to 1 meter. That's really interesting. So quick melee does less damage overall. I would have to check if this is for everything or just for dual blades. Quick damage got almost a 50% damage nerf. But if someone's stealing and you go up and you kick them, you can punish them essentially. I'm assuming this knocks them off of the objective, but also it keeps them within close attack distance. This is really interesting. We're very conscious of the impact that kick attacks could have on steals, so we'll be monitoring this closely following Season 11's launch and will adjust as we feel is needed. I do think this could become a problem, because essentially what this is what's gonna happen is the meta isn't going to be stall. Well, it still will be stall with your like grenades and stuff like that, but now all like a light player has to do it, for example, is run in, kick the person stealing, and then run out. And their kick will be back before that the next steal attempt goes off, because it's only a 2.5 second cooldown. Attacking points is going to be very, very hard starting out in the season, I think. Or like stealing points. Riot Shield. Added stamina and precision, added stamina regen time of 3 seconds. Primary attack. So replace the old damage value at 90, set damage to precise hits to 82, set base damage to 57. Decrease sweep range by 0.5 meters, increase lunge distance from 3 to 4 meters, decrease lunge target angle from 40 degrees to 20 degrees, set precision zone angle to 9 degrees. That's a pretty big change for his lunge angle. The field of view at which you can lunge has pretty much been cut in half. That's a pretty big change. The damage nerf is not very substantial, but I think it will help. Because this is one of the few melees that can block bullets and completely negate damage. Secondary function, shield block. Updated the shield's collision when blocking now provide full frontal protection to the user. Decrease movement speed while blocking by 25%. Increase reliability when blocking against incoming melee attacks. And shield bash. Added a new shield bash attack that can be executed by pressing the primary fire button while in the shield block stance. This triggers a fixed distance lunge attack. So it's the same as the dual blades. It has a fixed distance lunge, but it has no second attack like the dual blades. It's only the bash, which does 40 damage. It sets the lunge distance to 3, and it knockbacks 5 meters, and it does not use precision. Okay, so you can now do a bash to, I guess, back people up. But in my head, I'm wondering why you would want to do this as a shield player, because wouldn't you want to keep people near you as a melee player? Unless I'm misunderstanding something. This seems counterintuitive in a way. But you could use it to end a combo. You can use it to close distance. It'll be a bit harder now because you move slower, but maybe it's something you can run at people and get close to them with, and then you put up your shield and you immediately bash instead of holding it the entire time. Okay, Sledgehammer, stamina precision, added stamina regeneration time of 2 seconds. Primary attack, replace old damage values of 100, set damage to precise hits to 120. Set base damage to 90. Whoa, okay. Increase lunge distances from 4.5 to 5 meters. Decrease lunge target angle from 20 to 25 to 20. set precision zone angle to 10. Secondary attack, replace old damage of 175. Set damage to precise hits to 200. Set base damage to 150. Added a small pushback to opponents when hit by the secondary attack. Increase lunge distance from 4.5 to 5. Decrease lunge target angle, the same values. And set precision zone angle to 10, same values. Oh, so they made the higher end of the sledgehammer is stronger now, but the lower end is a bit weaker. They essentially widened the range of damage a sledgehammer can do. But now, wow, sledgehammer's pretty strong. I think sledgehammer's going to be pretty strong, especially when Winchclaw. Essentially now, if Winchclaw hasn't gotten adjusted, every time you get winched into a sledgehammer, you should expect to immediately take 200 damage. The only possible saving grace I think for this combo being as strong as it is maybe you can kick people out of a Winchclaw, and that gives you enough distance to dodge a hit. But if you can't, if you don't have enough time to kick because of the little the frames that don't allow you to interact with the game, sledgehammer's really strong, like really strong. Okay. Spear. Added stamina precision, add stamina regeneration time of 3 seconds. Primary attack. Removed first attack from the 3 attack animation sequence, going down to 2 and making the weapon more responsive. So you don't do the first spin anymore, you only do the last 2. Remove old scaling attack damage sequence of 65, 80, then 90. Set damage to precise hits to 74. So it's 74 across the board if you are precise. Set base damage to 55. So that's interesting. So on the old attack combo with no precision, you'd have 65 plus 80 plus 90. If you hit every attack in the spear attack sequence, you do 235 damage, which is almost enough to kill a medium. Now you do 74 times 3. You do 222. So you do slightly less damage with the spear at its highest value. And that's if you're precise. So the base damage is at 55. Decrease lunge distance from 7.5 to 5. Decrease lunge target angle from 30 degrees to 20. And set precision zone angle to 8 degrees. Remove the old spin attack that did 100 damage per spin for 3 spins over 2.6 seconds. Added new spin attack sequence that does 3 spins. Set damage as first spin does 75, second spin does 120, 100, and the third spin does 126. Huh. So technically you do more damage with the secondary, but it's 1 damage. Sets spin durations at 0.8 seconds, 0.75, then 1.1. Wow. Okay. I think spear might be kind of cooked. I think the secondary's good, but if you're attacking someone individually, these changes are pretty rough. These are pretty rough changes in my opinion. Setup spin attack requires stamina to perform. Each spin requires stamina to perform. Set up spin attack such that when a spin hits an opponent's stamina is immediately regenerated. Oh my god, wait, yeah, spear's cooked. Wait, no, spear's really bad. So for this secondary attack to proc, you need to get a hit on each spin. And if you don't get a hit on either of these spins, the combo just cancels because you don't have stamina to start the next spin. I think spear's cooked this season. I think spear is really cooked. Set up spin attack though, so such that when the spin hits an opponent's stamina is immediately regenerated. If that player is already holding the spin attack button or presses it again, this allows the second or third spin to immediately trigger. Spin attack will now end after a single spin attack if the player fails to trigger the next attack or has no stamina, which will trigger it. Set spin attack precision zone angle to 0. It does not use precision. So that's the one saving grace of the secondary attack. You will always do these damage values no matter what if you get a hit. But if you miss the hit, you're cooked. Because not only do you lose the ability to continue this combo, your stamina is gone until you get another hit. So you can't even lunge with your normal attack. Spear got hit probably the hardest out of the melee weapons I've seen. Sword. Added stamina and precision, added stamina regeneration time of 2 seconds. Primary attack, replace old damage value of 88. Set damage for precise hits to 110. Set base damage to 71. Updated the primary attack sweep to make it more accurately match the animation. Increased lunge distances from 3 to 4.25. Decreased lunge target angle from 25 to 20. Set precision known angle to 9 degrees. Secondary attack. Lunge attack now requires stamina to achieve the maximum range. Lunge distance with stamina increased from 9 to 10 meters. Lunge distance without stamina set to 5 meters. Decreased rotation clamping on the lunge attack by increasing the forward clamp angle from 40 degrees to 110. Sword seems pretty strong. These are crazy changes. I don't know exactly what this change means, but what this sounds like is either you're going to be able to rotate less with the sword so you can't like get backstabs for free, or you're going to be able to rotate more. I just don't know what this means in writing. And that is all the melee changes. Okay. I think some of them are good. I think some of them are a bit overtuned. Specifically, I think the sword's really strong, and I think the sledgehammer's really strong. And I think things like the spear are cooked. But overall, I think these are good. I think these are really good. The spear might need some, they might need to look at the spear again. The spear guy did dirty. This is crazy. I just feel like with the spear, it's either you put all your marbles into this secondary attack and pray that you get a hit, or you never use the secondary attack and you just only primary. It's one or the other. And then in terms of the sledgehammer, like I was mentioning earlier, I think this is this has potential to be very strong. I think this change in particular, the secondary attack being 200 damage now, is crazy. I think this would make sense if we kept the damage values or the health values the same as we did in the respec order, where lights had 275 HP and heavies had 325 instead of 350. But I think with the current health values, this is a crazy change to make. And I want to see it in actual gameplay to see how this pans out, but I just think this is wild. This might be too much for how easy it is to hit these attacks with the sledgehammer. Okay, let's move on, chat. Specializations. Cloaking device. Decrease the minimum cloak duration from 13 seconds to a level 11 seconds. Switch energy consumption from linear to discrete. Energy is now consumed at the minimum possible rate when moving slower than run speed. This player can maintain maximum cloak uptime while stationary or crouched moving. Previously, this rate of energy consumption only occurred when stationary. Energy now consumed at the maximum possible rate while moving at or above run speed. Previously, this rate of energy consumption only occurred with sprinting. We find a lot of players find cloaking to be frustrating and a little oppressive, and we feel that part of that is how easily it can be used at speed. Our intent with stealth was never for it to be super effective on the move, but rather more impactful when moving slower, supporting a more hide-and-seek playstyle. These changes are a nudge a bit further in that direction. So what they've done is they've made it so essentially you have less to work with. And if you want more to work with, you have to move slower, like very slow. You're not gonna be able to move across the map anymore while invisible and keep uptime on a crazy energy pool. I think overall this is a good change. This forces you to take your routes a little bit smarter and plan out how you're gonna move around the map instead of just running wherever you want and maintaining invisibility uptime. I think I like this a lot. This is a good change. Evasive dash. Decrease the number of charges from 3 to 2. Decrease the cooldown from 7.5 to 6.5 seconds. Testing of evasive dash having just 2 charges in the run up to and during respec order, as well as the positive feedback I received from the community, has convinced us this adjustment to evasive dash is warranted. Despite lights not having respec order's additional 25 HP, this change reduced a lot of the player frustration, and in practical terms, light still played relatively similar to before with the reduced cooldown. Evasive dash has been a strong outlier among light specializations for a long time, and with high utility coming from its 3 dashes, we think overall these changes move the overall balance of the game to a better place. I agree with this change. I did not play the new respec order, but I agree with this change wholeheartedly. This makes it so evasive dash isn't a must pick anymore. I think it became a must pick for a long time because you could just use the vanishing bomb to get invisibility, and the other specialization wasn't as important. Now this allows some of the other specializations to be used a bit more often. I like this a lot. And the cooldown is a good way to balance it. So you have less charges to work with, but you get it a little bit more often. Okay, Winch Claw. Decrease the minimum stun duration on the victim from 0.25 to 0.1 seconds. Decrease the duration the victim is locked in place and prevented from moving when they reach the destination is from 0.15 seconds to 0.1. Decrease how soon the user can act after grabbing a player with Winch Claw from 0.25 to 0.1 seconds, allowing them to act sooner. The Winch Claw is intended to be used as a gap-closing displacement tool, but it has been a bit too effective as a kill tool when it's used at closer ranges to many stun opponents in place. These changes should reduce the advantage players get when using the Winch in this way. Also a really good change. I think this also makes it so the Winch Claw feels less like a must pick, which it isn't a unanimous must pick, but it was pretty strong and it's been pretty strong since its launch. So I think this is good. And this specifically may help with Sledgehammer changes that I was mentioning earlier. Okay. Weapon changes. 50 Akimbo, so the dual Desert Eagles, increase damage from 44 to 46. Despite some players swearing by the Akimbos, they're generally one of the least used and the slightly underperforming weapon for heavies, and we feel like this buff will nudge up the desirability and viability. I like the Eagles a lot, so I'm down for this. I thought they were fine, but I think more damage to them is good. They may now be able to compete with the rate of fire and the DPS that the Shack does, maybe with this change. So I think this is a good thing. 9-3R, decrease damage from 25 to 24, increase ammo count from 21 to 27. Since this last buff, the 9-3R has been a very strong outlier compared to all other light weapons by a considerable margin. We believe this power comes from the damage distance we made in 10.3 and when a buff was warranted but took the weapon to its current state. At the time, we went from 24 bullets to 21 to try to offset the impact of the 25 damage, but that has proven to not have worked. So with this change, we're looking back to the changes we made in 10.3 and taking a different path. We're returning it to its old pre-10.3 damage, reverting the ammo change, then buffing the ammo count instead. Yeah, sure. The 9-3R is a very strong weapon. It's been very strong for a long time, despite the small window where it wasn't as good. But it was meta for most of, I would say, last year for light players. It has such a crazy drop-off range of damage. You can shoot this thing pretty far away and get full damage impact. I think a 1 damage change isn't a lot in hindsight. I mean, it adds 1 extra shot to every kill. We'll have to see how it plays out. The ammo change is pretty crazy though. You can maintain aggression and chase a lot more now, and I'm imagining this gun is going to kill shields, doing 75 damage per click. It's going to decimate shields. F-Car decreased fire rate from 540 RPM to 530 RPM. Our previous buff to the F-Car pushed it well above most other medium weapons and performance metrics, making it a significant outlier. This change is splitting the difference on our last buff in its prior state to try to get the F-Car to a more balanced spot. Cool, pretty minimal change. We'll see how it plays out. KS23, increased damage from 100 to 110. Decreased damage fall-off multiplier from 0.7 to 0.64, meaning the weapon now does slightly less damage at range. While the KS has good utility, it still lags on a bunch of performance metrics compared to the Heavy's many better combat-focused options, and we want to close that gap a little. Fall-off multiplier, it changes to retain the same damage at distance despite the damage buff. Okay. Sure. I just think it's a slug shotgun, so if it does damage at range, I feel like a player should be rewarded for shooting a projectile and hitting it at range, you know? So it doing the same damage is cool, but I feel like if you're gonna buff the damage, I think you should just give it that damage buff. Personally. Okay. M134 minigun. Decrease dispersion in all aim states by 10%. Decrease how aggressively dispersion scales up when the player is moving the camera around quickly. Increase environmental damage from 30 to 35. We'd really like the minigun to have its chance to shine in the meta, and we feel this change will bump up its effectiveness to allow that to happen. Minigun users are up. I think this is cool. This is a cool change. I definitely see the minigun as a good environmental weapon, so giving them more environmental damage is an added benefit, and the dispersion will help them take fights a little bit more consistently against people that are using more traditional weapons. So I think this is a cool change. Model 1887, increased pellet damage from 12 to 13. The model's viability has struggled for some time now. We'd literally like to see it find its place in the meta, and we think this damage boost will help it get here. I think that's a pretty big change. I think the model being pushed in the meta against some of the other shotgun options is good. Pike 556, increased headshot damage multiplier from 1.5 to 1.75. The Pike has been something of a problem child, constantly bouncing between just too underpowered and being fairly overpowered. We've generally been reluctant to do more than a couple of tiers of headshot multipliers, but as we feel granular, headshot multipliers frequently make the overall combat system seem inconsistent for players. But in this case, we decided to add a 1.75 multiplier to try to bump up the pike's power without slipping into the overpowered territory again. Okay, this is a massive change, and their reasoning makes a lot of sense. The pike has gone from being like the best weapon in the game to being absolutely useless at times. I don't know what the damage values of the pike are right now, but this change is very big, and I think the pike will become very popular again because of it. Okay, and then we have a bunch of animation fixes, audio fixes, cosmetic fixes, gadget fixes, and a bunch of other stuff that we're not going to look into. A bunch of bug fixes, a lot of bug fixes. Oh my goodness. Anti-cheat. Updates from the anti-cheat team. Heading into Galaxy Masters, the detection upgrades we rolled out over Season 9 and 10 have settled in nicely, and our models are operating with the confidence that we've spent those seasons building. This season will continue to build on those systems, accumulating data over time. We're still watching, still tuning, and still adding new detections with conservative thresholds as we build trust in them. The cheating landscape never sits still, and neither do we. As always, keep sending in player reports with as much detail as you can. We can't always reply, but we always read them, and they genuinely help. Magnum.